Hello everyone, this is Boricua Binks and welcome to Let's Play 999. I almost said Zero Time Dilemma. Anyway, in the last episode, which I'm sorry I had to end abruptly, we were in the captain's quarters and we figured out the puzzle and I think we were about to leave the room? Yeah, or we just left the room. Okay, so let's continue. Man, all this time and I still haven't gotten one ending yet. They stepped out of the captain's quarters and into another hallway. The hallway stretched out in front of Junpei for a bit before turning left like a great backward L. Junpei rounded the corner and took off down the straightaway. He ran. And ran. And ran. At the end of the hallway was a door. He made straight for it. He was nearly halfway to it when he noticed a piece of paper in the middle of the floor. What was a piece of paper doing in the middle of the hallway? Junpei skidded to a halt. He dropped down to his hands and knees and quickly tore the paper off of the floor. Another map? Now that he had a chance to examine it more closely, it was clear that it was a map. More specifically, a map of the ship's interior for the A deck. What's wrong? Ace, slightly slower by virtue of his advanced age, had finally caught up to Junpei. Junpei said nothing, simply showed Ace what he had found. He looked at it long enough to determine what it was, and nodded. I see. With that, he began running again, past Junpei. Junpei shoved the map into his pocket and got up to follow Ace, but something stopped him. Hey, I was about to say that. Where's Clover? He turned around. Clover was nowhere to be seen. Damn it. What the hell is she up to? Junpei muttered angrily under his breath and took off back the way he'd come. As he stomped around the corner, he saw her. She was standing in front of the door to the captain's quarters, her hand on the doorknob. As Junpei watched, she closed it gently and quietly. What the hell are you doing? Nothing. What do you mean, nothing? Suspicious. Clover had unconsciously put her hands over the pockets of her jacket, as if trying to hide something. What the hell is that? What? You've got something in your pocket. What is it? Oh, this? This is a note. Note? Yeah. I found it in the pocket of the guy with the captain's clothes. It said something about the darkness of the sinister hand or something. What the hell? Let me see it. But Junpei wasn't going to get to see it. From the other end of the hall, he heard Ace's voice. Hey, Junpei? Clover? What are you two doing? Hurry up. Clover shrugged. I'll show it to you later, all right? Come on, we gotta hurry. Dang it, I bet that was important. Before Junpei could protest, she was gone. Around the corner and off down the long stem of the L. A note. A note. Junpei was curious. But there was something else that bothered him. Her pocket had been bulging far more than it would from just a note. That is true. Junpei did his best to convince himself that it would make sense later, and ran off after Clover. Dang it, girl, I thought you trusted us. Trusted him. Trust him, whatever. Junpei pushed through the door and found himself in a large room with a large set of stairs. It was just what he'd expected to see after reading the map. His I see after reading the map himself meant that Ace had probably realized the same thing. Junpei looked around, but Ace was nowhere to be seen. He put his hand on the handrail and leaned over to look down. I can't do that. Like, I have this thing with heights. It's actually weird because I didn't have that before. Actually, no, now that I think about it, I always kind of had it, didn't I? So, like, I think it's like vertigo. Like, when you look down from a high place, you get dizzy and you, like, freak out.
I felt so bad. It happened when I was on my trip to Texas with Skinny Senpai and them. And I didn't realize it was gonna hit me right then and there. But I was like, oh my god! I was at the top of the stairs. I just freaked out. All right, enough about me and my issues. There he was, and not just Ace, Santa, June, Seven, and Lotus as well. Junpei and Clover glanced at each other and hurried down the stairs. Reunion time! They reached B deck at the same time.
Jumpy! Clover!
June's face was excited. Something had happened. That much Junpei could tell by simply looking at her. What's up? Given their situation, he was not inclined to be excited about sudden developments. June, however, couldn't contain herself.
We found it!
Found what?
We found it!
What did you find?
The last door! We found door 9!
Oh. We're finally almost at the end! What? Here we go, 7 voice. Which apparently, oh man. Every time I do this I feel embarrassed, but at the same time, it's funny, so why not? Come on, just follow us. We'll explain on the way. Okay, let's go. 7 turned and jogged off down the stairs. The rest followed.
We finally made it!
The relief and excitement in her voice echoed what each one of them felt. Yeah, it's finally time. Junpei wasn't quite ready to believe they'd really done it, at least not just yet. Still, if everyone said that it was door 9, then it probably was. He could feel his heart racing. A mixture of anticipation and fear ran through his veins, and he could feel his legs shaking. He was doing his best to maintain a sense of healthy skepticism, but he couldn't deny that the prospect of escape was an exciting one. Will we really be able to escape so soon? Well, it's been a while, but still. But there was one thing he couldn't get off his mind. The numbered door could only accommodate between 3 and 5 people. Yeah. There were 7 of them on their way to the door. That meant that even in the best case scenario, there would be 2 of them who would have to stay behind. 2 people. He didn't have any solutions to that problem yet, but he was desperately hoping one would present itself. Junpei looked over at the clock. Okay, the hands indicated that it was 4:30. They had 90 minutes before their time was up. Hey! Junpei! June! What the hell are you 2 doing? Hurry it up! Santa's voice jolted Junpei out of his reverie.
Let's go, Jumpy.
June took off down the stairs, jogging as quickly as she could. Junpei followed. And it's interesting, she calls him Jumpy throughout this whole game, and then in ZTD she doesn't. She calls him Junpei. It's like in a year they mature so much, it's really weird. As a group, they piled onto the elevator and rode impatiently down to E deck. It looked familiar. There was a metal grate between the 2 elevators. 7 grabbed hold of it and began to talk. I know I told you I'd explain it earlier, but honestly, there ain't much to explain. After we split off from you guys, the 4 of us got onto the elevator on the left, and that took us to the other side of the grate. After that, they had headed down another hallway. It took them toward the bow of the ship, and eventually to the number, I think it's bow of the ship, I don't know, and eventually to the number 6 that Junpei and June had found earlier. With 4, they'd been able to open the door and keep going. As usual, they'd faced a locked door, but had been forced to complete 2 different areas before they could unlock it. Once they were through that door, there was another hallway that went in the other direction towards the stern. So, on your way, you found the elevator. That's right. So, in other words, you kinda did a lap, huh? You came from that side to this side. Yeah. With that settled, Junpei looked around. So, where's the number 9 door? Over here. Follow me. 7 began walking down the hallway that led toward the stern. Junpei and the others broke into a jog to keep up with him. They had been walking for a while, June in silent step with Junpei when she spoke. Excuse me. Had to burp.
You know, it's because of Santa that we're all here right now.
Huh?
That all 7 of us are going to door 9. You don't get it? Santa, 7, and Lotus? What's their digital route?
Oh, snap. So they could have left? Aw, Santa's a G. That's awesome that he didn't let them leave without him. 9. It's 9.
That's right. They could have just left me behind and kept going if they'd wanted to.
But they didn't.
Yes, because Santa wouldn't let them. He said we can't leave June behind. That's why we went looking for you guys.
And then you got in the elevator and went back to the central staircase.
That's right.
Well, I wouldn't have called that one. That Santa would be the one to stick up for you, I mean. Junpei felt Junpei felt his eyebrows knit as he considered that. You jelly, Junpei?
Oh, don't get me wrong.
Perhaps June had sensed Junpei's concern.
I don't mean that 7 and Lotus said they wanted to leave me behind. We were just talking about it and Santa objected to it first.
Junpei was about to respond when... 7 suddenly stopped. You know Lotus was thinking about it. Come on now. In front of them stood a door. So, is this? Junpei couldn't see 7's face, but he could see him nod. There's no other place for us to go? Nope. Just look around. At the end of the hallway was a thick iron wall. To the left and right, other hallways led to the port and starboard sides of the ship, but they were both closed off by thick metal grates. It looked as though 7 was right. The door in front of them was their only choice. Alright, let's get moving. He pulled open the door and walked in. Junpei took a deep breath and followed. Ooh, it's different. It appeared they'd been telling the truth. I don't know why the music sounds weird for this game. I don't know if it's just my computer not meshing well with it or the emulator, I don't know. The first thing Junpei saw as he entered the room was the number 9. Like all the others, it was a rough thing, made of red paint. The door it decorated sat on the back wall of a rectangular room. Junpei ran up to it. It was a large double door with powerful styling. Something about it was almost majestic, and it made the red paint look especially garish. Junpei grabbed the handle and shook. It didn't budge, but then he hadn't really expected it to. The red was bolted to the wall next to the door, its display read vacant. Finally, they had arrived. Junpei felt a flood of emotion wash over him. He felt a chill down his back, and his chest tightened even as his blood began to boil. He was about to speak when... Junpei, look behind you. He turned around. Junpei could scarcely believe what he saw. What did he see? Just kidding. I'll keep going. A door and a 9. What? There was another one? Hey, what the hell? What the hell's going on here? Yay, that means everybody can escape. That's awesome. But that's also kind of weird. His words came slowly, and his brain struggled to understand what he'd seen. On shaky legs, he made his way to the second 9. It was a small door, set parallel to the door they'd come through, but in the other corner of the room. Really weird. 9. There was no mistaking the number, and if any more proof was needed, a red was bolted to the wall near the door. He grabbed the handle and shook the door, not because he expected it to open, but because he had to make sure it was real. Why the hell are there 2 doors? It was Ace who spoke first. Do you think perhaps one is the right door and one is the wrong one?
Yeah, that's kind of scary. Lotus was skeptical.
I don't know about that. That seems unlikely. What makes you say so? Well, think about all the rooms we've been through so far. They're full of puzzles, but there are always hints about how to solve them. I'm pretty sure there aren't any rooms where we just had to go with our best guess and leave it to instinct to solve the puzzle. Do you really think that at the very end of the game, Zero is going to suddenly throw in something that depends entirely on luck? Then you're saying there's some sort of hint in this room.
No, I don't think there's a hint anywhere in here. I searched it very well when I was in here before. I didn't find anything that might have been a hint, though.
Well, then that means... Yeah, both of these are the right door. I mean, if you think about it, Zero never actually said there was only one door with a 9 on it.
True.
The exit is hidden, but it is there. Seek the exit. Seek the door that carries a 9.
Okay.
Junpei began to mutter to himself. So if there are two number 9 doors, if we split it up right...
That's not gonna work.
Junpei blinked and looked up at Clover. She held out her hand.
You've got a notebook and a pen, right? Can I borrow them?
Slightly confused, he pulled them out and handed them to her. Oh no. The numbers don't work.
Look at this.
They probably need Snake. Where's Snake? Clover opened the notebook to a blank page and sat down on the desk. Everyone else gathered around her and watched as she wrote down a series of numbers. 1, 3, and 5. Yep. There's always gonna be somebody left behind.
You get it? The numbers on the top are all the combinations with digital roots of 9. The numbers on the bottom are the people who don't fit. There's only 8 possibilities if we split up into 2 groups of 3 or 4 people. So...
If 3 people go through the door, then 4 are left behind. If 4 go through, then 3 are left behind. Right? Clover nodded, almost as if... Really, doggy?
No.
Almost as if she were pleased with herself for solving a difficult math problem. Oh boy. The room went very quiet. Silence lay across everyone like a thick, heavy blanket. No one spoke. Their faces were blank. Desperate for something else to look at, Junpei turned his eyes to the room around him. As he did, he began to wonder, what was it? Good question. The walls were covered with candles. The wavering flame made the shadows of Junpei and his companions look as though they were dancing. Looks like a church, almost. 2 rows of wooden pews filled most of the room. Between them was a strip of rich red carpet. The carpet ran straight through the room, ending at the door that pointed to the stern of the boat. At the other end of the carpet... Oh boy. An altar. It was a recessed space set into the wall between the 2 other doors. Sitting on a raised section of the altar was a coffin. A coffin. A coffin. A coffin. No, it couldn't be. Is it Alice? But if it wasn't, then whose body occupied it? That was as far as Junpei wanted to pursue that line of thought. He decided not to think about the coffin for the time being, but there's like a lock or safe on it or something, so that's definitely going to come into play. At that moment, Seven spoke. There was an edge of humor to his voice, but it was forced. Okay, I'll give up. I figured if we sat around here long enough, someone would volunteer, but I guess nobody's got the guts to do it. Junpei didn't understand, and he wasn't the only one. What? You guys didn't figure it out yet? Hmm? Ugh, fine, fine. Let me enlighten you. Clover was mostly right with her little explanation earlier, but she missed something. She wasn't really wrong, she just... screw it. Let me just write it out.
Seven snatched up the notebook and began to write in it. Everyone else clustered around him, desperate for a look. Oh, that's so sad. No, Seven.
If you're trying to leave with a group of 3 and a group of 4 and get everybody out, Clover's right. But there's another way. Only one combination, though. If you split us up into groups of 3, 3, and 1, you can make this combination.
Wait, this means...
Don't get me wrong here. I'm not trying to copy Ace or anything like that. Even if he hadn't been the hero back in the big hospital room, I'd still be saying the same thing.
The same thing? Are you saying...
Yeah, I am. I'll stay behind. Lotus is actually upset about this. Wow. Yep.
Why are you acting so heroic all of a sudden? Are you some kind of idiot?
You two have an interesting love-hate relationship going on, don't you?
Lotus was the first to speak. That in itself was a little strange. She'd reacted much differently when Ace had volunteered. I'm completely against this. I'll be goddamned if I'm going to...
Oh, I did not mean to say that.
Darn it, game! I'll be damned if I'm going to have to owe you for getting out of here.
The rest of them began to speak all at once.
I'm against it too. I didn't want to leave Ace behind, and I don't want to leave you either. I don't like that idea. There's gotta be other options.
I disagree as well. I can't say I care much for you being the hero.
Really, Ace?
Finally, they quieted down. Junpei looked at Seven. Well, there you go, Seven. Proposal denied. Clover's right. There's gotta be a better way than this. Seven made some noise that was somewhere between a derisive snort and a cough. Doesn't make any sense. He was doing his best to pretend they were making a foolish decision, but Junpei could see the twinkling of water at the corners of Seven's eyes.
Oh, you're so adorable. Who's a cute Seven? Who's a cute Seven?
I'm sorry. Okay. He'd be like, woman, what is wrong with you? That was when Santa spoke. Whoa, hold on a minute. I haven't said anything yet. Until then, Junpei hadn't realized that Santa had stayed quiet for the whole discussion of Seven's fate. Something in his voice made Junpei uncomfortable. Are you agreeing? You want to leave him here? Santa shook his head. Nah, I'm against it. I don't want to leave Seven here alone. Then I don't see how it matters. I said alone. Eh? Excuse me? What's going on here? I said I don't want to leave Seven alone. There was a dull shine in Santa's eyes. They were cold and hard. Junpei felt himself shiver. What the hell are you... What? You don't get it? I can't leave just one person. I need 2 more. 3 people, including Seven. I'll be leaving behind 3 people. That's my proposal. What? Dang it, I kind of wish I had not gotten this ending first. Alright, well... should I keep going? You know what? It's going to be a little longer episode because last time was short, so Let's see if we could get to the end of this part. Oh boy. No, those are my orders. What do you mean, orders? What the hell makes you think you can order us around? Who the hell's gonna listen to you? You all will. In 3 seconds, you won't have a choice. What? 3, 2, 1. Santa was so fast, Junpei could barely see him. When he moved, it was almost like watching a dance. His feet moved like lightning. I can't talk. His feet moving like lightning. He spun and... Ah! What the... First of all, Seven's face looks weird there, the way they drew him. And second of all, why? I don't understand you at all. This doesn't make any sense. He could have left earlier. Why? He had June. Boy. You know, no, I will leave. I'm gonna leave it here. I don't know how long this is gonna keep going, so thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you're enjoying this. My mind is going, what? Okay. And until next time, have a nice day. Bye.